Now, White Pine County Daily News with Wyatt Cox.
And KELY News is brought to you by Sahara Motors. The Kawasaki KX450 built out of the box with everything you need to dominate the track. Check it out today at Sahara Motors and let the good times roll. Well, we beat the old 2004 high yesterday of 71 by climbing to 77 degrees. Look for another record-breaking temperature today. High around 79 degrees. The old record goes back to 1908 when it got up to 72. White Pine County Commission meets tomorrow at 9 a.m. at the historic courthouse in Ely. The meeting will be carried live here on KELY. Among things to be heard, commissioners are set to receive an update from NB Energy on local projects, including the Green Link North Transmission Project. The board will also consider possible legal action related to the Pine Valley Water Supply Project, a pipeline that would take water from Pine Valley all the way down to St. George. A potential appeal involving federal land agencies, BLM, rapid approval in that project. In other business, commissioners will interview candidates for the golf course director position and could approve a salary range and extend a job offer. Also, an agreement involving the 7th Judicial District Court and things behind the scenes in that process. Possible staffing support for the county finance department and appointments to the local emergency planning committee. The board may also approve sending representatives to the Nevada State Fair in June and consider a proclamation recognizing April as Donate Life Month. That meeting tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. at the old courthouse downtown. You'll hear it live here on KELY. White Pine County Sheriff's deputies handled multiple calls on Sunday, many involving disturbances in Ely. Deputies investigated a report of a vehicle following a family member around town, threats at an apartment complex where both parties were advised to keep the peace. Several disturbance calls reported at apartment complexes, including loud music that resulted in a warning, and another incident involving property being thrown downstairs. A separate fight led to one person being trespassed from the property. Other calls included juveniles riding motorcycles at the city corrals who left before deputies arrived, an alarm call with no issues found, and a harassment complaint in the county. Deputies also assisted Nevada State Police with a traffic stop and referred a stranded motorist to state authorities. A report of a threat outside the county home investigated was unfounded. Ely City Council meets on Thursday, 5 o'clock at the Volunteer Fire Hall. Among things on the agenda will be a liquor license for the Music Box Bar on Altman Street and a license for the William Hill Race and Sportsbook for the city's gaming license board to consider. Tree board recommendations, possible changes to planned downtown street trees, along with a proclamation recognizing May 7th as Arbor Day and a related community tree planting event. Other business council members will consider a 3-year police protection agreement with White Pine County, appoint a substitute municipal judge, set compensation for pro tem judges, and authorize a request for proposals for a conflict prosecutor. In news from the state, the BLM will begin a wild burrow gather near Beatty next month. Crews will begin gathering about 500 excess burrows in and around the bullfrog herd management area in Nye County. The 157,000 acres intended to support between 58 and 91 animals. Current estimates put the population far higher. An emergency gather last October removed 246 burrows. Faculty at the University of Nevada, Reno have overwhelmingly voted no confidence in College of Education and Human Development Dean Don Easton Brooks. Results show the 85.5% of faculty lack confidence in Easton Brooks' leadership, just 9% expressing support, 5.5% abstaining. 90 faculty members took part in the vote. Action follows allegations of bullying, intimidation, and unprofessional conduct. Faculty claiming a hostile work environment. University officials say the matter will be handled through proper channels. It's unclear what action, if any, administrators will take in response. Former Washoe County family court judge facing criminal charges in Reno. Reno City Attorney's Office has filed a misdemeanor stalking charge against retired Judge Bridget Robb, alleging conduct intended to cause fear. Robb stepped down in January, days after a temporary protective order issued against her. Court documents accuse her of stalking the girlfriend of an attorney she had a long-term relationship with while on the bench. Investigators alleging the behavior occurred hundreds of times. Meanwhile, the 2nd Judicial District Court said it's identified 25 cases where that relationship should have been disclosed, and notices have been sent. Still unclear whether any of those cases could be challenged or retried. 2 weeks after multiple leaders in the Reno Police Department placed on leave, questions remain about what prompted the move. Police Chief Catherine Nance and 5 officers believed to be part of her command staff put on paid administrative leave March 9th. Corey Solferino, undersheriff of Washoe County Sheriff's Office, serving as acting chief. City officials only say the case involves a potential policy violation, but the Reno Police Protective Association says a criminal investigation is also underway, possibly involving Nevada State Police and the Nevada Attorney General's Office. They have declined comment. Reno City Council set to vote March 25th on an agreement with the Sheriff's Office to provide leadership staffing, including acting assistant chiefs. That could cost the city up to $2 million and would run through the end of the year. Major power provider for Lake Tahoe facing a looming supply change, Liberty Utilities, which serves about 49,000 customers in the Tahoe region, says they'll have to replace 75% of their power supply by May of 2027 after its current agreement with NV Energy ends. Liberty currently generates about a quarter of its power from Nevada Solar, the rest purchased through NV Energy. NV Energy says they can't continue the contract due to its own growing demand. The transition tied to the completion of the Greenlink Nevada transmission project, which will allow Liberty to access new energy sources. Liberty says it plans to seek bids from a wide range of providers with a focus on renewable energy and keeping costs affordable. State regulators still have to approve the process before a new supplier is selected. And let's get back to pennies, shall we? Nevada Gaming Board issuing new guidance for casinos as the Treasury Department phasing out minting pennies. Officials say while the penny remains legal tender, casinos may face shortages and can round transactions to the nearest nickel. However, operators must clearly inform patrons of their rounding policies and cannot round down only. The board says notices can include signage, ticket redemption areas, or on-screen kiosk messages. Casinos have to keep detailed records if rounding affects reported gaming revenue. Meanwhile, optional charitable donations tied to rounding are allowed, but they have to remain voluntary or clearly disclosed in advance if required. Directive reflects Nevada's heavy reliance on cash in gaming operations. 8:21 for Sahara Motors. That's a check of news from White Pine County in the state of Nevada.
You see lots of commercials on television telling you to drive a little and save a lot. Dealers wanting you to drive to Salt Lake, Elko, Reno, and even Las Vegas. But ask them one question. What happens if there's a problem? Do you have to drive 3, 4, or even 6 hours to get service? Here at Sahara Motors in Ely, we service everything we sell right here in White Pine County. Shop here first, get our best deal, and you get that best deal by telling Shauna that Wyatt sent you by. Then if you want, shop other places. When you account for the drive, you'll find that it pays you to be a part of the Sahara Motors family. Stop by Sahara Motors, just about a mile north of Ely on US 93. Sahara Motors, we are White Pine proud.
Tell Shauna Wyatt sent you by.